it's just a size 14. This is a lightweight or medium weight wired hook. It's a barbless hook, we could use whatever one you like. Now, you can even tie this on a straight hook if you wish. I know many do. So, thread I'm going to be using, this is a light Chahill 8/0. Just simply start with thread at the eye. I'm going to quickly run it down, using the base piece as a guide. There we go. And then, what I'm going to use for the body, now this is, okay, I've used this in a few flies and I use it quite a lot because it certainly works for me anyway. So this is a peacock eye. It's been dyed yellow, as you can see. Now what you do is then put it into some bleach and then you remove a lot of the fibres. Now this hasn't been kept in so the full length time, meaning you keep it in a bit longer to remove all the herl. But what happens is you tend to find that the herl comes away quite quick at the tips. As you come in to the denser fibre in the centre of the eye, it takes you a wee bit longer, but what I've done here is I've left that on. So I have, as you can see, now that adds a bit of texture to the body of the quill when you're tying with it. So I'll show you what it makes. It's really nice. Now just take one off the eye. Now basically you want the herl to sort of go towards the back. And we start off catching it in with the bare part of the quill. So when it starts, there's no herl on it. So I'm taking it all the way up the thread. Take it all the way up until we're in line with the point of the hook. And then break off, cut away the remains of the quill. To protect it, you must wind over a layer of super glue or varnish, whatever you use. This is Loctite super glue. It's an easy brush. It is a water resistant super glue. So then what I do then is I wind all the way up, touching it first mainly. As you can see, winding over the super glue, and then as I start to go up, the leading edge has the herl, so it's naturally facing towards the back. I keep going. This point here, cross your thread, pull up, nice and tight and secure it in. Now what I would recommend that you basically leave that for a minute or so, just allow the quill or the super glue to dry, and then you would start to tie in your, once that's dry you tie in your CDC feathers. Now you're looking for fly this size, small, not medium can be too heavy. I mean go with sort of small feathers, this sort of size here. Now I'm looking for, depends on the quality, this is the wild CDC, you do get a domestic one. They do sell it, so in the wild duck it's a wee bit denser. I find it a wee bit denser anyway. Now what I'm doing here is I'm lining these ends up, there's 3 feathers, with the natural curve of the fibre. Now I'm going to pull the fibres in together. Now what I want is some of the stem of these feathers, because if you go towards the tip sometimes it can be too soft. I want the thicker part of the stem to be in the wing. So what I do then is come down, catch it there, just come around with a couple of turns, just making sure it's secure, and then tighten up, and then come in and remove the excess. Bit of wax on your thread and be really tight with the turns. Come back up, securing all this in. Now for the dubbing I'm just going to use a squirrel, or this one here, a natural fur by Wopsy, this one, the natural fur, and this is the fox squirrel, which is one of my favourite dubbings when it comes to this fly. You only need a wee drop, just lightly dub it onto your thread. You get a right mix of under fur and guard hair in this. Just slide it up, and then spin. See, I'm spinning here, keeping it tight. Make sure it starts at the point you want it to start. So work your way down. Give yourself good head length. And there we go. Now I want to form slightly a wing at the back. And the way to do that is to basically pull some of the fibres down either side of the CDC feathers, like this. But don't leave enough to obviously form the shuttlecock wing style. So this is like a thorax cover. Now if you feel you've got too much dubbing on, what you can tend to do is you can bring out some of the guard hairs with a bit of velcro just on the top. Just bring that down. And that will lower it slightly. Just have a wee quick look. There we go. Don't worry if they're too long, you can always not so much trim them, but you can pull some of them off. So you come over, catch it in. I'm going to make sure there's wax on my thread at this point. And then you can basically do like a figure 8, come either side, nice and tight with the thread. Always keep the thread tight. Now, what I'm going to do here is a wee bit of varnish onto my thread. And I'm going to whip finish. There we go. Nice and tight. Trim that away. I say you can reduce the length of these fibres. Spray is basically pinching them. So you get a sort of wing or leggy type look. You can reduce it, you can slightly shorten them on the side. Just have a quick look. You can see you get the thorax cover. Nice. Presents the fly really well, that. Then I'm going to trim this. Now trim it quite longish at the first. There. That's basically when you're having the thick stem, or the thicker part of the stem, it dries much better. It's got more resistance, it sits apart and sits on the film, the surface of the water. And you can trim this down even more if you wish, if you want it to sit a wee bit lower. As you can see, you can end up with a sort of jewel type fly. A fly it could represent olives coming off as much as any midge coming off. And a very simple fly to tie. You can usually fill your box with these. Tie them every colour. All the colours you can think of that work for you. But you can see that body you get, that beautiful body with the quill. And it works extremely well. So I hope you enjoyed that.